I grew up in Rochester, New York, and during my sophomore and junior year of high school, I played several sports, but I was increasingly more successful at lacrosse. And as I continued to find success on the lacrosse field, my junior summer I started to get information in mail that, connected to Division I schools, and I narrowed it down to a handful, and Notre Dame ended up being what I thought was the best fit, both academically and athletically. So I went out to South Bend and started there as a freshman in the fall of '94. It was great. It was a wonderful experience. Athletics turned out to be a big part of my life, and I was very successful with that, and that was fun. And then my junior summer, I was staying in South Bend to do summer classes. I was on my way to an exam, and on my way to the exam, it was around 8 in the morning. I was going through the intersection of Notre Dame and Angela when I was hit on my driver's side going through that intersection and was ejected from the car out the passenger side door. And upon exiting the car, I dislocated my C6-7 vertebrae and did not sever the spinal cord, but bruised it badly. I spent that summer doing intense rehab to try and regain as much function as I could, and in addition to the function, to regain independence. And then the following fall, I went back to Rochester, New York, where I grew up, did outpatient rehab, and continued to just heal, emotionally and physically. And was able to get to a point where I was functionally independent, which, is a big deal. And at that point, I decided that I wanted to get back into life and complete my degree at Notre Dame. And the school was unbelievable. And obviously, I feel strongly about the place. I've had the opportunity to develop my professional career there as well. So I decided to come back for the spring semester, which was obviously a difficult decision in many ways, because you leave there an independent, very healthy student athlete, after being there for 3 years, and you come back in a wheelchair, which is, not the same in a lot of ways. When I returned to South Bend, very quickly I started to feel a void in my ability to go places that I wanted to do. So I was there for a month and a half before the Braun van was delivered that I'd selected, and I went through a variety of options to, larger conversion vans, to cars that can break down, or that have an elevator lift that can bring up a folding wheelchair. But I found that a rigid framed wheelchair was the best for me in terms of my mobility and being able to get around campus and hold up. So being able to be in a regular size van that handles like a car and that is very easy in and out was, to me, the driving force behind the decision to go in the direction of Braun. And once that van arrived, yeah, it was a night and day situation. I finally had the ability to, if I wanted to leave, and go to a variety of places on my own. If I want to go up to Barnes & Noble, if I want to go to Borders, if I want to go out to dinner, if I want to go out and get a dessert, if I want to do any of those things, to a movie, to a play, to a concert, those are all things that would require an enormous amount of logistical planning if I didn't have the ability to get in my Enervan and do it at my own whim. When I first had the ability to use an Enervan as my own, when I first received it and it was delivered, and I went out on my own for the first time outside of my apartment to the outside world, it had been probably 7 or 8 months since my accident, and I was able to regain a glimpse of that feeling of independence, truly away from any other person. It was very refreshing. It was something that was very encouraging to know that I can go forward on my own.